Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Melina Landrio, and I wanted to thank each and every one of you for sharing space with me today. I am truly grateful for all of your support. Now, beginning this message, I am going to place out there that there is a trigger warning for this message, this download. And I want to encourage you to do a check-in of your energy to see if you can or want, if you want or can watch this video. This was heavy triggering for myself as it resonated in various ways throughout my lifespan. So please do an emotional and mental check-in to see if you have the space or even if you want to create the space for such a download. And with that said, it's always important to use your discernment when entering any of these types of messages or videos. These are collective messages and videos, and they are not going to resonate with everybody, and they shouldn't. So if this message is for you, it should resonate very deeply in a very understanding way. This is not something that you're going to try to make fit or contort to make fit. If it's not for you, it's just simply not for you. So this message came to me. Today is the 14th of December, and I began collecting these messages about December the 10th. So on the 10th, the number 1221 could be significant. And again, with the mirroring numbers. So there's a mirroring number here being 1221. And it's some sort of shadow depth of expansion was what came to my awareness. It's the expansion of one's shadow, one's depth, or depth of a situation. I had this vision of a shadow, like a solid structure and the shadow of it. And this shadow expanded and moved. And it was very relevant that some sort of darkness is on its way out and it's working its way out. And what's happening while it's working its way out is it's going to cause a form of expansion. And then this shadow retrieved back into the light. And then it was 1222 on my clock. We are working our way into a full moon. I believe it's coming up tomorrow, perhaps, the 15th. There's also the winter solstice energetic composition that is within this expansion of depth, and we are entering into the winter solstice, I believe the 21st. I could be wrong on the date, but it's coming up. So the winter solstice energetic composition is all about the expansion of depth and the expansion or understanding development of our reflections as we nestle into ourselves for the winter months. And from this experience, we evolve from what was into something that will be. And so this is truly of significance in regards to this shadow expansion that I was visually seeing. Now, here comes the disturbing part of the video. And again, please pause the video, do your check-in, and decide if you can emotionally and mentally handle what I'm about to unload. I don't know where this part of the message is going to go in regards to the tarot formation or how any of this message is going to unload. So this is just as surprising to me often in times doing the readings with what comes up. So please just have this understanding and awareness. So 1044, I received a download. At first, I was being showed behaviors that a Jezebel spirit would inflict on someone. They were distorted perceptions that were amplified by sexual desires or experiences. And I was just seeing the way this rolled out in my particular life in regards to, meeting loved one and involvements with that type of relation. And this is how spirit was showing me it to understand it. So, we meet people with all sorts of demons on us. And, we have to understand the composition of where these come from and look at the spirit of it and not the person of it. Because oftentimes these spirits inflict us all in various ways. And in particular for today's download, the Jezebel spirit is what came up. Now, from this point on, I began to see a vision, and spirit showed myself as an infant and or baby. I was maybe between 1 and 2 years old in my awareness that I had with this vision. And I was made aware that I was dropped off by my mother to some random person, a man. And this understanding that it was some form of business transaction or security that was implied within this exchange. The man that I was being showed had brown hair and brown eyes, I believe. I keep seeing the depth of brown eyes. Depth is very important in this download. The depth of a construct, the depth of an understanding, the depth of even misconceptions, just the depth of things. Because I'm showed at this point in the message, the eyes are brown and they are depth. There's a depth to the brown eyes, the wells of depth. So when I'm looking at this and I'm thinking about what I'm saying in regards to the eyes, the coloring of the eyes and the experience of the eyes, pardon me, I keep having these little burps. And my throat, of course, is starting to get dry. Every time I do a reading, it appears that all of a sudden my throat chakra is under attack or something. Okay, so it's like the depth of the wells of the eyes that I was seeing. It's almost like an understanding of warmth and caring, of trust, of balance. So that some form of depth is received in this exchange. There's something there's something with that. I don't know how else to explain it other than that. So if this resonates with you guys, it's going to resonate with you guys in the way that it should. So what I was shown is how we hold our babies. You know, when we have children, if you're a parent, you know, we comfort them to give them a sense of security. You know, we want them to feel safe. We want them to feel comforted. We play with them. We play peekaboo. We tickle their little toes. You know, we play all sorts of sensory games so they understand their development, like putting them on a blanket where they lift their head or they start to crawl and maneuvering objects to get them to crawl forward to them. These little things that we do to help our children. So I was showed this in regards to myself, a baby. This is how I was seeing it, as myself as a baby. And I was being held and comforted in a secure way. This man was tickling, playing peekaboo, trying to gain some form of trust for me to feel secure with them. But then the download became disturbing, as while I, the baby in this download, in the midst of this man's care, who was playing with me, trying to create this sense of security for me, and in that same instance, once he succeeded to gain like some form of joyful smile from me or giggle, his mannerisms became dark and insidious as he projected himself physically into me. And that's the disturbing part. My apologies if that was triggering, but that was hard for me too. It was almost as though he was trying to create some form of normalcy in his actions with me to create some form of confusion for this baby. Okay? So this was triggering, and in the same instance, it was also clarifying some unanswered questions from my childhood. So sadly, this may resonate in the same way for some of you, and I'm sorry if that is the case, okay? But this is where the message is going for. I'm not even understanding the directive. I'm just being obedient and delivering what was given to me as messages to share. So I have a few more things to go alongside this. Now, between the time of that download, which was December the 12th, and it was very close to turning into December 13th. So overnight, I channeled a lot that night. I didn't sleep very well after that channel. It was very hard for me to understand what was coming up. And I was trying to make sense of it. So I was in prayer and I was seeking and asking for answers, for assistance with energy removal that I was experiencing. So I had this overwhelming experience almost instantaneously upon this prayer of an emotional energy welling up within my heart and my throat chakra. And this understanding that this emotional well up was in part my ancestors brimming with happiness and love for the work that I'm doing for myself in trying to understand or achieve the understanding. So I want you guys to know that your ancestors are also acknowledging you in all that you are doing to try to achieve some form of balance or new homeostasis from perhaps a disturbing point like what I just suggested, or a disturbing understanding like what I just suggested. So I just want you to know, if this message is resonating with you so far, that the ancestors were very important part of the orchestration of even the emotions that you're going through in your heart chakra, in your throat chakra at this time. Like letting go of the frustration or the anger. Maybe you've already gone through that belt of it and you're in the grief zone of it. Or maybe you've gone through all of that. Maybe this has been a construct for a period of time and now you're just developing a new way of understanding it, or trying to accept the understanding of it in a way that you can move forward with it with better ease, because I can attest this is not something that's easy to move forward with. So this is important that I mention that the ancestors are with you and they're playing a huge part in the orchestration of how you're getting through it. So it's of importance here for you to understand that you are being supported, because from what I'm understanding, if this message is resonating with you, if you are likely resonating with my channel because you don't have a lot of support. You've lost a lot of support in your family, in your connections over the years. And so you're trying to make sense and align yourself in ways that are just beneficial for you, and to release the old constructs so that you can do so in a more fruitful and balanced way. An experience of doubt in expression also came up. And this could be in your experiences and in your understandings, and the understanding also that it's a two-way street. It says not everyone is accepting as you are. Your experiences and your present in this world shatters the other people's understanding of it, and this might be highly significant for you as well. It's like many go with the flow of the transit, and you're somebody who always goes against the grain. You are someone who questions everything, and this triggers those in the flow of their circumstances. Also, an address was brought to my awareness, an address that for me, I can relate to certain constructs. So the number 33 could be significant, as well as addictions, disorderly conduct, and disturbing behaviors are relevant in alignment with that number in regards to this particular download. Also, there's a Masonic correlation, and what illuminated to me when I got that, so the 33 and the Masonic correlation, was the word rape. So rape illuminated to me in regards to that correlation. And then I saw the number sequence 151 again. If you've watched my last few recordings, that number has been very prominent, and similar number sequences that would be a mirroring understanding. So 151, again, something about going forward, and then something about going backward in regards to reminiscing in like addictions, disorderly conduct, disturbing behaviors. Now, this could be also related to, what did I say above here? Hold on. Oh, yes. The Jezebel spirit, the disturbing behaviors, the addictions, disorderly conduct. This can all be relevant in regards to the Jezebel spirit, and could also be related to the 33 Masonic correlation in regards to rape. So somebody could have gained some form of spirit in regards to a rape, is what just came to me now presently when connecting that. Also, with the mirroring energy, what also came up to me in understanding was sacrificial energy, and the Masonic Knights Templar came up. Now, the song Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler was in my mind at this point. In particular, the lyrics: turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit lonely and you're never coming round. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of listening to the sound of my tears. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit nervous that the best of all the years have gone by. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit terrified, and then I see the look in your eyes. Turn around, bright eyes. Every now and then I fall apart, and I need you now tonight, and I need you more than ever. And if you only hold me tight, we'll be holding on forever. This just kept repeating that solo, that part of the song. But when I was looking at the lyrics, and I know, guys, I have an amazing voice. You're welcome. But when I'm looking at the lyrics and I was trying to decipher the part that I was hearing, I noticed there was a tonal change. It was like one part was light and feathery and just reminiscent, and then it kind of got dark, is how it felt. So you could be dealing with somebody maybe from your past, maybe somebody you don't know, but they are looking at you in a way. Now, whether you have a past relationship with them and they're reminiscing on it, and maybe they have come to the conclusion that it's never going back. And then there's this temper tantrum in ways that's occurring in regards to your energy being gone. And or it's somebody that is fixated on you, likely like stalker vibes comes to mind, and it's like trying to make something fit and contort that's not meant to, is what's coming up in regards to that song. Then I saw this vision of a woman. I was showed a vision of a woman, and she had green eyes. She could have been wearing contacts. But she looked like she could be mulatto. She had this beautiful, coiled, curly, dark hair, and it had these bangs, and it was really nicely put together, but it was like a lucid, messy look, if you understand what I'm saying. And it was about chin length or the back of the neck in length, and then some bangs in the front and just some layers to frame the face. Now, this person could have a nose piercing, and she could also be a smoker. And she had what appeared to me to be a round face. And I was witnessing some form of fighting when I was, when I was being showed her. Pardon me. Or spirit brought her to my awareness, and in this awareness, I witnessed a form of fighting between her and her relation. So I felt like this was like a partner lover kind of experience, but place it where it fits if this is resonating with you. Regardless, it was two people that came into my awareness and they were fighting. And the vision was almost as though she was looking at me, that I had witnessed this, like I had seen her, like she's like, who's this lady looking at me, kind of. It's like it was almost like a portal had opened and I could witness this person, and perhaps I was really seeing her and she was really seeing me. And so I had witnessed this fighting between her and this person. And I saw it firsthand. And this awareness that I had seen it is what was made prevalent to the circumstance. It was like she is observing, waiting to see if something is going to happen. 205, similar mirroring number like before. If I were to bend it in half, it would meld into each other. If these numbers are resonating with you, I'm not going to look into them today, but you guys are more than welcome to go ahead and Google the numbers and find the meetings in whatever awareness resonates for you. Then the understanding of watching to see if something gets contorted or controlled. I heard something that sounded like, and I don't even know if I'm going to do justice to whatever this is, this word. I heard a word. It sounded like velocipricin, and I'm not sure what the hell that is. But when I heard it, it made me think of like perhaps a medication. I remember my dad growing up was on a lot of medications, and there's a lot of weird words like that sounded like that. So a medication came to my mind when I heard it, so it could be a medication. I'm not sure what it is, but that's the word I heard. Velocipricin. Velocipricin. And then something about all magnetic energies trying to control future energies also came into my awareness. And this is now energy confliction is coming in for someone, or all magnetic energies trying to control future energy. So someone may have been utilizing some form of magnetism to contort and control some form of energetic experience. And this is now coming in for someone. So maybe this person is getting a return to sender in regards to whatever they were trying to contort or control. And the energy is of confliction. So someone could be feeling conflicted at this time due to whatever it was that they dished out. So that's relevant for somebody watching. Then I had a dream. I woke up at 3:49. I completely forgot about this until I wrote out this channel today. I had a dream, and it was like I woke up in real time. I woke up to go to the washroom in the middle of the night, and I heard, like, it sounded like someone was scurrying out of my room really fast. And there was this squeaking noise to it. So I know there was nobody in my room because we have carpets. And the squeaking noise was almost the noise you would hear if someone had wet feet running down like a hallway, like maybe a wooden floor hallway or something, where there would be like, or squeaking, the squeaking noise of like a squash court. Like your running shoes on the floors, and maybe a squash court comes to mind. That's the sound I was hearing as somebody was running away or walking away quickly from my room as I got up. And then I got back and I realized I had a dream. And in the dream, there was this body of water. And I was meeting up with somebody. And there's some form of misunderstanding. And walking through this body of water, you could see there's rapids, and maybe we shouldn't walk so far out. But then there was this understanding that there was this trust, and there was this misunderstanding that something had occurred in the past to do with trust. Like there's a block that has been broken. Whatever this is, this dam is, this block has been broken. Then the water appeared to be, and I was like maybe calmer. I didn't write the word here, but a change. There appeared to be a change in the water. And I was going to cross it, but then I stopped to turn back, and I had this epiphany that whatever happened was done and over with, and it was going to be smooth travels from here on end. Then I decided to walk through the water, and I made it. So this could be relevant for some of you. Maybe my dream sounds like something that you've been going through, or maybe you've been going through a lot of turbulent waters and now it just seems like things have shifted or changed, or they're about to shift and change, and you're going to start to experience smoother travels. So just to note that. And before this part of the dream, before this remembrance of that part of the dream, I had this understanding that I had eaten blueberries or something significant. So also there's something significant about two people and misunderstandings, and not saying hi. Like maybe you may have had a misunderstanding with two people seeing you and you didn't say hi to them, and they maybe took it the wrong way. Maybe they felt like it was a personal attack, but maybe the reality is you didn't see them, I don't know, there's some sort of misunderstanding. Then I saw 202 as a number. So in this part of the dream, I went to somebody's place, like, and at their place, I think it was a home, but I felt like it was somebody's home. I went to someone's home, and they had these red painted, worn wood flower boxes, benches, and a table. And I felt like there was this lushness to their backyard or this area that we were sitting. It could have been a cafe too, but I feel like it was someone's home. But maybe it was a cafe because I did have a drink. But anyways, I'll keep going. The name Erin is significant. I met up with her or somebody and a guy, and there was blueberry water with ice in the dream. And I remember in the dream, I thought that was genius. And I may have opened up my computer at some point to look at written material. Perhaps I was going to do a reading about 3:55, and it was about something, and it was 3:55 on my clock at that point. I also had the song Bluey in my head, maybe because my kids have been listening to that show lately. I don't know it offhand right now as I'm saying it, but if you know the show, you know the show. And another understanding was it matters who you are going to bring the new year in the new year with. So if you're sitting there contemplating who you're going to be connecting with this new year, you might want to really sit and consider all the understandings of the decision that you're going to make because it apparently matters. Okay? Also, there's something about the number 1018 could be significance, inheritance, and the behavioral changes that occur surrounding these circumstances is relevant as well. So there may be some form of issue with inheritance going on in your surroundings in your life, and maybe people around you are their behaviors are changing surrounding this circumstance, and maybe you're feeling a certain way about it, or they're feeling a certain way about it. Or maybe it's about to be illuminated and people are going to start feeling a certain way about it. Something like that is significant. Also, since 2015, this could be significant for some of you. It doesn't have to be, but the date came up as relevant. I know it's relevant for myself. Since then, you may have been implementing, digesting, and understanding of maybe meditative practices, dabbling with healing modalities, maybe shamanic influences. Perhaps you're dancing between the realms, you're connecting with spirit, you're utilizing them to gain healing, gain insights about the past. You know, maybe you're wanting to heal whatever life has been for you up to a certain point, and you're wanting to bring up and connect understandings of your experiences up to that space and time. So an illumination to fill in the spaces where information was never completely received is essentially what's coming up. 111:79 could be significant. 114:55 could be significant. There's also something to do with someone's dying wish. It's like you're being told something different that didn't align with what actually happened in regards to someone's death. I had this like understanding of something where I was told something of someone, but then all of a sudden it kind of an epiphany, an aha moment happened where I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense because so and so died instantaneously without any notice or understanding that this was going to happen. So how could there be a dying wish? Something to that extent. And there could be confusion or dynamic of the way this message that I just shared with you, the whole message. There could be some confusion in this dynamic of the way this message came in. It's not exactly my story, but it came in causing a lot of confusion for me, triggered some aspects of my life where I had to really think about it, and it caused me to actually lose some sleep. So the collective of this energy that resonates with this may also be experiencing the same in confusion in this dynamic or some sort of distortion in your energy. So perhaps you have an aha moment or an epiphany then this message might be for you as to where you go with this information. I don't know. I cannot tell you because I'm not a doctor, guys. I'm not a psychologist. I am merely a human being having a human experience and sharing insights from my own personal journey in regards to tarot, in regards to my healing, energetic healing understandings, and the life that I have lived. So whether that helps you or not is up to you, okay? And again, I'm not a professional doctor or psychologist. If you are needing a professional medical doctor or a professional doctor in a way of capacity that you understand, you must reach out to the proper person, okay? Because this is not what I am here for, okay? Also, I had a vision of a wolf, and I heard, everybody's going to think I'm crazy. Now, the wolf to me represents emotions, stagnated emotions, deep welling emotions. And this is often what I have had reflective in my head. Maybe this is also your experience as well in regards to expressing a truth in the traumatic experiences that you've had. When expressing them outwardly to be met with disapproving notions or even simply rejected or maybe even abandoned in some instances. So this could be significant. The dog in the vision was a dog. Well, the wolf in the vision was actually a dog that I used to have, except in the vision, the dog looked different, and an understanding that this dog is coming back around. So you may be dealing with a 14 or 16-year-old, perhaps a 16 or 17-year-old could be significant, who may be experiencing trauma at this time, trauma that's difficult to express, and may mirror your past trauma, perhaps like from similar time frame. Maybe you were that age when trauma occurred to you, is what I mean by that. So please be mindful of this, as your trauma may be present residually within your construct and could trigger you also. So if you want a changed result for your child from what it was that you had experienced in regards to the deliverance of being supported or not, you must be diligent in understanding this concept to heal it. So in the future, I'm going to share some tips and some helpful stuff that I've done to help myself through the hardships that I have endured in my life. I'm not ready to do this at this time, but it's coming in the future. So you might want to keep an eye out if that's of interest to you guys. It'll definitely be labeled clearly when the time comes. Now, December 14th, today, 413 was significant, and I just saw this flash of mobile security came into my awareness, and the color energy, like it was colored, the color of the writing that I saw was purple blue. So this could be significant for some of you. Maybe you've had somebody breach your mobile security, or someone's trying to breach your mobile security, and the fact that I'm seeing it, like the awareness of it is clarified to me, so that's telling me that it's being seen. So like whoever's trying to do this is being seen. Some form of traction is occurring as well. And then entering into this download, I became extremely lethargic, and I had some temperature changes as well. Like my house was really hot and then it was really cold, and I don't think it's necessarily the change that's coming, but I felt like it's just to do with the components of processing energy at this time going into a full moon, as well as the solstice, that there could be some really big shifts in your energetic field present now or coming into fruition. So this is all relevant and significant. And that was the download. That was the channel, guys. So I'm going to jump into a reading now just to clarify the energy. It's a lot to dabble into, so I don't really know what's going to come up with the tarot. And I'm just going to be open to whatever spirit wants me to connect with that is of importance for you guys. So I'm just asking to decipher whatever this energy is. What is the important aspects of this energy? What is it that Spirit wants us to know in regards to that major leap of a download? I do hope this message is meeting you all well. I hope you've had some great days. We have an Empress here, and we have an influence of a Knight of Wands, some charging energy, and then the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so with the Empress, there's a need for you to be receptive at this time. There's something that's coming into fruition for you. And this is something that I feel the download today in regards to, for some of you, in regards to the traumatic part, the trigger warning part. Some of you have experienced not necessarily that per se, but great traumatic events in your life that have unfolded in similar disturbing ways. And from this, you have had to kind of mother yourself out of the circumstance. Pardon me, I keep having these little burps. It feels like the energy feels, being the Empress, that there is a lot that you had to go through, and likely on your own. And you had to cultivate what this understanding was, what this dynamic was, what this experience was. And you likely have had to go through multiple layers and levels of this throughout your entire lifespan to the point of today's energy. And what this card is saying, if this is resonating for you, is that you have cultivated so much from your experience that there's a really big need for you to learn to go with the flow. I don't think you've been able to do this your whole life. And so this is maybe something that you've been trying to adapt with or understand or dance with in the moment, like in the recent moments over the past year or two, 6 months, maybe a few months. Or maybe it's just coming into an understanding now that there's a need to slow down and just learn to let it go and go with the flow. You may have been in this trauma experience where you have to fight and flight, run, the majority of your life, and you're learning to look at it as a different reflective way. Again, with the depths and the undertone of this channel today, there's a need for this in regards to whatever this is that's coming into that's been germinating within you. It's coming into fruition, and this could just be very well the finality of its experience as it was, and into the new growth, into some form of cultivation that's going to bring you likely some success, because the Nine of Pentacles is usually it's utilizing your discernment, it's being very prudent with your energy, and it's having a certainty, because it's this energy is of you. It's a construct of who you are. So like you can't fuck around with it. It's naturally who you are. Like nobody could try to take this from you because they cannot adapt it, because it's not them. They've not gone through the experiences that you've gone through. They have not gone through all the judgment, all the abandonment, all the betrayal, all the neglect, whatever it was for you, all the things that have occurred to you, all the disservices that have happened to you in your life that you've had to grow and evolve from on your own, are things that people cannot take from you. And this is highly imprinted in your energy. There's no doubting it. You cannot look at somebody who's lived this life and say they're fraudulent. But you can look at somebody pretending to be somebody like you, acting like they've been through what you've been through, as fraudulent. There's a huge difference in comparison in regards to the energetic imprinting of it. That's significant for some reason. Now, the Knight of Wands is an authority figure, and this is influencing you. There's something influencing you, this energy. And there's this is somebody in this particular deck that comes across as very honest and fair, and they're punctual with their time, and they like to make the decision. They take decisions, and they decide to charge towards, if you look here, the Nine of Pentacles. If you see the card, it's charging and facing the Nine of Pentacles. So you might have somebody charging towards your future in regards to something that has to do I'm going to get one more card to clarify this card, actually, because what I'm feeling with this card and what I'm seeing as the understanding of its nature in this particular deck, there's some sort of discrepancy within me. So I'm just going to clarify the Knight of Wands. Clarify this authority figure influencing the Empress. Thank you. So this could be a collaboration. This could be a union of sorts. Can I have one more? Two more, okay. And again, we have a Knight of Pentacles and the Eight of Chalices. So somebody's watching you. Somebody's been watching you. Somebody who's in alignment with you. Or has made an alignment with you. I don't think you're aware of this individual. I feel like this person has been watching you. They're in some form of an alignment with who you are. They're understanding something about you. Something to do with your Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles is all about it's about recognition and achievements. So some sort of recognition could be coming forward here. In this deck, this is a recognition and achievements. This is wealth, prosperity. This is being known for something. And the Eight of Chalices is all about spiritual growth. It's embarking on this spiritual journey. It's transformation. It's like a personal transformation to a new phase of growth, which is essentially what the Empress is. So somebody's watched you rise into the status of Empress, and they're aligning with you, whether you know them or not. You may know them, but I don't think they're necessarily... And it's confusing because it's what's influencing you at this time. So what is the influence? What is this influence? Oh. The Soul. So a new journey. King of Grains. That's the Fool card. One more. From an Eight of Feathers. That's reversed. You've done something to help transform this person, and they recognize you because of that. You have helped them gain. They were in an Eight of Swords, and it's been reversed. And this Eight of Swords was you helped them to break free, essentially. Maybe you had part in helping someone break free. You influenced. You're being influenced by the Knight of Wands. You've influenced the Knight of Wands is really what I feel it comes down to. You've influenced them. They've become free of limitations, of fear. Maybe you've inspired some form of action, or they're taking inspired action. They're able to let go of the past limiting beliefs. For some reason, I feel like there was some sort of a structure in place that maybe you were able to, in some way, shape, or form, realign for them in a deeper understanding of reflection. And because of this, they are aligning with you. Maybe before they weren't aligning with you, but now they're aligning with you Clarify what the Empress did for this Knight of Wands. Three of Feathers. Let's see here. I feel like they watched you go through some form of intense opposition, a lot of emotional burdens with the Ten of Candles. It's like despite it all, you still were able to get through it and be in a way that they probably couldn't imagine you to be. The Three of Feathers is about a betrayal, emotional pain, heartaches. So maybe they played a part in betraying you. Or maybe maybe they were played a part and caused intense grief and distress. Clarify one more, please. This Empress energy in regards to the Knight of Wands. Thank you. Chariot energy. What are these two? Death, Knight of Candles. Yeah. So again, this death magic is what's prominent with this here. And then the Chariot. Yeah, it feels like they maybe played a part in some form of transformation for you. And that's not like patting them on the back. It's they cause intense suffering and pain for you. And because of this, like the Knight of Candles in this is about taking action, bold leadership action, a call to adventure, new endeavors. You've inspired them, this dynamic energy. And there's the Chariot energy just beyond it. And that's fast-moving energy. And it's usually a controlled. It's like determination and willpower. It's like this Knight of Candles is trying to control the reign of something in regards to the Chariot energy. So they're maybe helping you out. Maybe at one point they were causing so much burdens and now they have had some form of, what's the word? I can't think of the word right now, but an aha moment, for lack of a better word. They have epiphany. They've had an epiphany. They've had an epiphany on who you are, what they were doing, and changed the direction of where they were going. So let's see. What was the past of this energy? Got a Three of Wands in reverse. Whoa. Three of Wands in reverse. The card fell on the floor here. Five of Pentacles, King of Wands. And we have the Four of Pentacles. I believe it was in the reverse. And the Three of Wands is an assertion of energy. Somebody's forcing their energy in. It's an assertion of force. So something is forcing its way in the past. King of Wands in the Five of Pentacles. Again, another authority figure. Oh, my apologies. I confused these two cards. This is the authority figure. This one here is an adventurer, an explorer. My apologies. So the Knight is an idealist, an inventor, a journey. Somebody's taking a journey. Well, that just changed the whole tonal value there for that little hiccup. My apologies. It's still clarified by the cards, though, of what I was saying. I do feel like this person has changed some sort of light about you. We do have an authority figure here, and the Five of Pentacles as well. And this person here, I feel like they have become absent in some way, capacity, in regards to perhaps this experience here. What is that? The Four of Pentacles in reverse. My throat chakra. My apologies, guys. I know I'm right in the microphone there. The Four of Pentacles being somebody, and it's reversed. And the upright's to do with isolation. So maybe you've been let free of this isolation. This is about new energy, a depth of new energy. This whole channel has been about the past traumas and such that have been burying and holding you down, that are coming up for understanding. The winter solstice, the full moon literally coming, like we're entering into it right now. And then we have this Four of Pentacles in the reverse. And perhaps the need to be hyper vigilant, and hoarding is very necessary in regards to whatever this is that you're cultivating, or the time. Your time and your energy is very precious. It's understanding how you are giving out your energy at this time is what the Four of Pentacles in reverse is expressing. It's like the past might be coming up, the past traumas that you've experienced and endured, all of this triggering experiences, all of these little innuendos within the channel that resonated with you are coming up for some form of influence to help you through getting through your resources, with the consideration of who you are at your core. And if you don't take that time that's necessary, you might miss this opportunity. And it's not that you're not going to be able to cultivate what it is that you're trying to cultivate from it. You will definitely get there when you're meant to get there, but it could delay it. It could make it longer, or you could overlook a certain aspect of it and not gain the richness that it could really fully give to you. In the past, you had somebody taking away that understanding from you, somebody who was an authority figure, someone who likely took advantage of you in a traumatic way. Placing you in a Five of Pentacles is what this appears to be here. The Three of Wands, and that's in the reverse as well. That's in the past. My goodness. And that's just about like being disappointed, maybe missing opportunities, feeling like you're limited with where you're going with things. Maybe things didn't make sense. Maybe it just felt like the same story over and over and over again. And maybe it was disappointing for you to understand that, like you were limited in the way that you could see things. But this is explaining that you've gone through some form of a time that has created some form of forward movement for you. Even though you feel like it's stalled, you're experiencing this lack of maybe optimism or excitement for this adventure forward that you know is coming. It's like you can feel this energy coming in, but maybe there's been a lull in that understanding at some point in the past. This feels like a recent past, even though this is more recent. It's like something just keeps cycling through over and over and over again. And this is, I think, in part due to this Five of Pentacles understanding and this King of Wands. Somebody in your past has imprinted something on you that is keeping you tontified in an area, or has kept you tontified in an area. In the channel, there was something about these blocks have been dispersed. They're no longer here. So because of that understanding, this to me feels like it's irrelevant. And if you look at my cards here, I don't know if you can see this. There is a card that's flipped upright. So we're going to pull that out here. And this is to do with your Nine of Cups energy. I'm going to place this here with the Four of Pentacles as the future energy here. You're learning to allocate time for your needs so you can appreciate the fruits of your labor. So you can appreciate what you've grown into. So you can, start to, have a little bit more fun. Start to let down a little bit. Get loose a little bit more in a beautiful way that you maybe haven't been able to in the past ever allocate. And the Nine of Cups is, you're coming into agreement with this. This is something that you're wanting. You could see the success and the victory ahead. And it's all encompassing this physical well-being that you're trying to achieve internally on all layers and levels of your being. What's the current energy here? We have the Devil in reverse. Okay. Well, that's always fun. So we have the Devil in reverse. And what's the environment? Ooh. The Moon, of course. Those two go hand in hand. This is all about regaining control. The Devil in reverse, this is a good thing. It's all about understanding your limitations of the past. You're seeing them in a different light. You've come into this understanding and embodiment. And I feel like the moon, it's very, very prominent, this particular full moon. And we're literally going into it tomorrow. Right now, as I'm recording this, we're entering into the 15th. So this new moon, this full moon energy is going to be prominent in navigating through this into some form of the independence and freedom from these limitations. It's to regain the control that you maybe were never allocated or never understood that you had. Maybe this understanding is going to come to the forefront for you. Pardon me. And the moon energy, it unveils like, don't listen to the naysayers. You might have some people in your energy that are trying to contort the understanding of who you've been, who you are. They may not be directly in your energy, but you have an awareness of who they are. And just continue to move forward. It's just kind of telling me that you are not really bothered by it. Like, you could have people making fun or saying stupid things, or jumping in with this King of Wands understanding here. They might be jumping in with this King of Wands. Let's see, the moon energy referencing the moon energy with influence of the King of Wands, Five of Pentacles, Eight of Candles, Ten of Candles, Three of Feathers. All these cards just threw out. I'm going to reshuffle because I feel like those are just on the top. Let me just shuffle this through and see if those come back out. Clarify the moon and the King of Wands, Five of Pentacles understanding in regards to this moon activity. People listening to things they shouldn't be listening to. Death. There's a death to it. Yeah. And what's this death? Yeah, it's like people are coming up. It's like David and Goliath. People are coming up against you like you're the big bad wolf because people are believing these deceptive lies that have been told on you. You're actually the Queen of Cups. You're very kind. You're very loving. You're very emotionally grounded and sound, and you're very intuitive. You're somebody who embodies, you're coming up as the Empress. You embody all the queens. So, it's this person is just really feeling inferior of you, and they're creating some form of discord in regards to your future, your Knight of Pentacles, what you're stepping into, what you're trying to cultivate that you naturally deserve because you're owed it, essentially, because of the life that you've lived. It just makes sense that this is what you're going to be doing. And somebody feels very salty about this, is what this is indicating to me. And it's the King of Wands here, energy from the past. And this could also be a replica. The King of Wands could be a replica. It's an authoritative figure. It could be replicating a female, a male, somebody who you look up to. Could be an actual authority figure, but it could also be somebody that you look to for support, look up to for support and guidance, and somebody who you fully, completely embodied trust in the past. This is somebody who came up against you in a very ignorant and demeaning way. And they have gossiped and fortified that with the moon energy here coming up in the environment. But this is coming to an end. Let's see, what's the emotions of this energy? I mean, you're like looking at it like it is what it is. Like, you know, like somebody says shit about you, you're going to be like, and like you're not going to bother explaining any type of scenario to why that seems relevant to that person. It doesn't matter to you. You have other things to worry about. It's really irrelevant, especially the fact that it's a lie. Why did so and so do this to such and such? 8 of Cups energy here in the emotions. Yeah, that's exactly it. If something is coming into evidence, something is concrete. It's very clear, the truth of all of this. It's very clear. And there's a lot of redemption coming forward. That's what the emotions are here. The truth of it all. The people who went up against you, the people who chose to believe these lies, maybe they even knew you and they still chose to go up against you. It's all coming up to be seen and illuminated in the truth. The 8 of Cups is the emotions showing that people are starting to see they chose the wrong side. They chose the wrong understanding. And this is really what's highly illuminated. And maybe some people are going to see that understanding sooner than others. But regardless, you are going to be redeemed here. It is going to come into light, the truth of it all. And what is the outcome of all this energy? Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Whoa, what's this? It sounds like this is somebody coming in who is very meticulous. They're methodical. They might be coming in to contort some form of information. Although, because this is the King of Pentacles in reverse. Or, sorry, this is the Knight. The Knight. Why do I keep... There's something significant with people changing roles. I don't know why that's coming up. It's like I keep saying the Knight, although or the King, although it was a Knight. Or the Knight, although it's a King. So there's something about the switching of roles here. Anyways, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse is some form of stagnation, inflexibility is coming in regards to this Knight of Pentacles. Almost like they're stuck in a rut. Can you give me one more on this Knight of Pentacles, please? Ooh, that card just flipped right up. 9 of Swords. Death. Yeah. Death, failure, loss, disillusion, disappointment. Desperation is coming in regards to it all. Let's clarify that. Clarify the Knight of Pentacles in reverse and the Knight of Swords as the outcome. Three of Candles, Three of Wands, Queen of Feathers. One more. Seeds have been planted. Yeah, it's definitely, you're going to be embarking your new adventure regardless. It's divine orchestration. It's coming in. You're moving forward in this new adventure because you have had faith in the face of, in the midst of all of that crap that you've gone through, that people have witnessed. This Knight of Wands witness, this sounds like this King of Wands may have dealt to you recently. This Devil in the reverse, you fought the battle and you've come to the conclusion and the entrance of what's to change. And although there's some little hiccups still coming in, there's going to be redemption. And even though there's this Knight of Pentacles who's in the reverse and he's in a Nine of Swords, and this is in this deck, that exclaims it's like an end of it, the death. It could be a literal death, but I feel like it's just the end of whatever keeps like propelling this to continue the cycle. Your cycle is complete, like you're done and you're moving forward. And this Three of Candles in this particular deck is all about you're embarking on a new adventure, and there's an anticipation of some rewards in the future. And you're the Queen of Feathers in this regard. You're speaking your truth. You're owning in your authenticity. You're standing 10 toes down on whatever it is that you're cultivating. And the Seven of Grains is telling me that you've implemented this germination. Again, the Empress is all about an idea coming into germination. You've planted these seeds. This is like I said, like I guess like at the beginning of it when I felt the need to express, that you've gone through something and it's quite obvious and apparent that it is you that has gone through it. Anybody trying to come up against you who portrays themselves as you, and again, this Knight King of Wands confusion, like people may have been confused about who you are in regards to your purpose. Maybe somebody contorted that truth under the moon with the lies that they spun about you, that they cast about you. Maybe this King of Wands, this authority figure, said something, and because they're an authority figure, people believed this person. Regardless, it doesn't matter because you're going to be redeemed, because you cannot deny the truth. You can clearly see who you are. You can clearly see that you have been through whatever it is that you are coming into, or stating that you have been going through. Whatever it is that you have been sitting with and cultivating with and moving forward from is doing a great service for you into your future. And this is intended for you by the divine, by God. This is orchestrated for your life purpose. Anybody coming up against it is going to be put in their place, because it is very clear and evident of what's happening here with this Knight of Pentacles in reverse and the Nine of Swords ending, that they're going to be receiving if they haven't already received it. And I'm going to leave this here. This is the message. If you liked, please share. If you like this message, if you resonated with it, please like, share, and subscribe. I do appreciate your support. Until next time, take care.